Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Podcast Baby. I'm your host, Jordan, joined by
Jaden.
Carson.
Christian.
This podcast is basically a bunch of dudes doing dude things and being bros, so let's get right into it.
Brisky. Having
anyone-
a couple buds with the bros.
Would anyone like to introduce the topic?
What's the topic?
That's a good question.
Did I come on point? What was the topic?
We're gonna have the topic just kind of be like in the area of movies. We're gonna try to keep this
What was everyone's first movie that they remember seeing?
first movie ever. Well, I know I was told a bunch. My first movie I ever watched was Monsters Inc. Well, not first movie, but like my favorite movie was to watch was Monsters Inc. And like to this day, it's still a very solid movie in my opinion.
I have a memory that me and Christian really wanted to watch Cars, and it was coming out on DVD at Walmart, and we kept seeing it being advertised. We're like, oh, we need Cars, we need it. And so I think we were in kindergarten or something, and they were like, if you get good grades, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I do.
But I do remember I had an infatuation with a movie called Balto.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That
Balto.
That's an amazing movie.
Balto. I don't think it's that good anymore. It's probably good, but it was
Balto?
Balto, yeah, it was about an ice dog, basically. I think it was like
he was getting
Medicine,
medicine
right? Yeah.
for
Medicine,
a bunch of
yeah,
sick
Casey.
kids in Alaska. He was a sled dog, and he
yeah,
had to get
but
to
now we got
You
this
never-
day and
you've
age
never
where
seen
nobody's
it?
taking the vaccination. So
Balto.
all this hard work
Yes.
is gone to shit.
Yeah,
I
because
don't think I've ever seen Balto.
there's a plane with medication for this small town in Alaska in the middle of nowhere, and it goes down the wilderness, and they're like, "Fuck! All these little kids are gonna die without these vaccinations." So Balto, the courageous
Not
sled
just
dog,
Balto, like the guy who
but he leads them, and they go off to find it.
Balto with the Balto.
It's
Based
a
off a
great
true
movie.
story.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just because you brought up Timberwolves, we read this book in third grade. It was about some dude who did like horse, not horse racing, like dog sled racing, and he was his dog wasn't the fastest or anything, but he basically he just trained his dog, and there was like emotional bond between the dogs throughout the whole movie, and he ended up in the last race. It was the last home stretch. Pushed his dog to the very limit to where the dog's heart exploded, and the dog died, and the kid ended up killing himself. Yeah, we read that in third grade. I don't remember the book title or anything.
Is it a true story?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't know why I don't know. You guys remember the movie Snow Dogs?
Yeah.
With Cuba Gooding Jr.
I love that.
He's
He
the
was a
dentist
dentist.
from Florida, and he finds out that he's got a white dad, and he's like, "No, I'm half white." I remember that because he finds out, and he's just like, and they have that whole scene in every movie where he starts screaming, and it just zooms in on his face, and he's just mortified that he's half white. He's like, "I'm half cracker, no." And he just goes off into the Alaskan wilderness to find out his dad had 8 snow dogs or sled dogs, and they all just hate him. It's just funny. I love that movie.
Oh.
What was your first movie? Or
Well,
fond memory
okay,
of a
so
movie?
my first favorite movie for it was either the Phantom Menace at the time
Of course
because
it was
it
so
just
cool.
came out. Okay.
It did
But-
not just
but-
come out.
one of my favorite movies.
I call bullshit.
As a child, one of my favorite movies was that. But even going back
This
further,
movie just came out 7 years ago.
even going out further, it was Nightmare Before Christmas. 'Cause I remember putting in the VHS for it, dude. And Nightmare Before Christmas was so great to me.
I
You guys
couldn't
know the
watch that
Peanuts,
movie.
right?
I couldn't
Hmm?
watch Nightmare
The
Before
Peanuts?
Oh
Christmas.
yeah.
Do I know?
The Peanuts. Our mom pretty much ingrained this movie into our head. The Snoopy Come
Snoopy
Home.
Come Home.
Oh.
Jesus.
That movie is so bad. It's about basically how Snoopy had an owner before Charlie Brown, and he finds out she's sick with cancer. So he abandons Charlie Brown because he doesn't want to, but he's like, damn it. And so he abandons Charlie Brown. He doesn't tell anyone, and he just goes on a road trip cross country to go visit this girl with cancer. And it's so scary and heartbreaking because he's just going through so much crap trying to get back to her.
Oh,
And at the very end of the movie, he finally gets back to her, and she's like, Snoopy, is that you? And you're like, it's him. He made it back. Does she die?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think one of my favorite movies of all time to this day, because I'm more of I like action and comedy, but I think more of my favorite movies are animation movies.
Oh yeah.
I think top notch is Coraline. I love Coraline.
Oh,
Coraline.
Coraline is such a great movie.
Dude,
Coraline's
watch
good,
it.
but the thing is, when you say animation, I love the claymation stuff, like the Frankenweenie. I love that movie, but the thing is, the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Verse, is I'm not gonna say
That's
anything.
peak animation.
That's the animation style.
When
That like the fact that they can make it so well that it looks like a comic book, that made me so happy. Like I was like, this looks amazing.
I'm not even denying. I'm just saying, like, in my personal though, I think like out of like all like clay animation or whatever, I think Coraline.
Yeah, clay
I think
animation.
Coraline was beautiful. The storyline was amazing. It's
scared
so
the crap
original.
out of me. When she
It's-
goes to like the scary world,
And that's
like,
the fact,
he's
like,
got his like mouth sewed. I was like,
The fact that it's like a kids movie and it has like a scary factor, you're like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Have
like
you
the-
seen Kubo
the-
and the Two Strings?
I love
That's
Kubo and the Two
amazing.
Strings.
I want to watch it, but I haven't got
It's
to.
so good. I
it's-
love Matthew McConaughey's character because it gets to the point where they like realize Matthew. Spoilers. They realize Matthew McConaughey is his dad, and Matthew McConaughey, his character is like, I am. I guess I am. It's like it's so
The
funny.
monkey's his mom, right?
Yeah, the monkey's his
I
mom. The
heard
monkey's
that-
so badass.
I heard that his parents both die at the end.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're dead.
That's so
Ah,
sad.
Spoiler
Dude,
alert.
okay, there's a lot of stuff in that movie. You're gonna have to understand. There's
You
a
know-
giant snake at the end that he fights. He loses an eye. There's a lot.
The studio that made that movie, it's going out of business
Oh, it is.
because they literally just make no money. They did Coraline, all those like Paranorman and Frankenweenie.
They
They-
took
I,
so
Paranorman
They did 'em
wasn't
all.
that good.
Dude,
That
though.
gay dude in I don't have anything against gays, but like that was pretty wild. Like because at that point, gays weren't that much of a big thing. At that point, and then this dude was flamboyant, and everybody's just like,
he was not flamboyant.
no, yeah, he was.
He was a football player, and you find out when like he's just not into chicks, and you're like, wait, you're not? And then he's like, he's not flamboyant in the
pretty
slightest.
Anyways,
So what's it called?
Um,
Yeah, they're just going out of business because they can't make movies anymore.
that's sad.
and I think one of my favorite like claymations would be the Corpse Bride.
Oh, that one's.
I just love the corpse, like, cause have you ever heard the theory about that too? Like the Corpse
That
Bride
is,
is connected with like Nightmare Before Christmas and all that. I mean, it's a little like rough, like
I think Tim
the
Burton's
tone.
went out and said that it's not,
It's
but
still a
I
fun
still like to
theory.
think that it is.
I mean, Tim Burton only made Nightmare Before Christmas. He didn't make the rest.
I thought he did make the Corpse
No.
Bride. He didn't.
Nope.
I can't believe Johnny Depp was in the Corpse Bride.
Why can't you believe that?
It's just a weird thing to me because like when I watch it, I don't like recognize his voice, and it's just like
I recognize it.
Johnny
Like,
Depp
that's-
is a talented actor.
I think he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, the fact that he can like go into such a good, you can't deny that
I
his
haven't liked
portrayal
him
of Captain Jack, that's a really good
I
portrayal.
liked him in the first two of those movies, and I don't think I've liked him in like almost.
Well, that's
anything
because
else.
that's not
Very
necessarily Johnny Depp. That's how they're
Again,
making.
like
the
I
actor.
said, I also have not liked him in anything else.
It's not really about Johnny Depp. I was just saying like clay animation. I think
yeah,
I
that's
think
kinda
I think
Johnny
it's
Depp.
my favorite type of like animation.
So artistic.
Just because it's like how long it takes and how well they come out. Like
Yeah,
Frankenweenie, I didn't really like enjoy the movie. I think it's still a good movie.
I think it was
They
pretty
just-
funny how they like had the reference to Godzilla, like the turtle.
Yeah.
It was the little Asian kid that had the turtle, right? And
Yeah.
he was like, that's funny.
But like it's just I think claymation's my favorite type of animation. Like I'm kind of sad they don't make it as much anymore.
Yeah.
Like you guys ever watch like Wallace and
Wallace and Gromit.
yeah, like
Yeah.
those
They're
are
making
those
a
are
new
good
one.
movies.
Beautiful.
They're making a new one.
Chicken Run was a good movie. Like things like that.
Oh, there was
You
another
never
one.
making a new Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah,
The
I
Fox
thought-
No, not Wallace and
Huh?
Gromit.
Is
Shaun
the
the
Fox
Sheep.
one?
No, not that one. That one's pretty good though. That one's
Shaun
like
the Sheep's best movie.
Shaun the
They're
Sheep.
making a sequel, and he just gets abducted by aliens.
that's not one. And Fantastic Mr. Fox with George Clooney. Now I thought that was good. The Isle of Dogs. I haven't seen that, but I want to see it.
Me and Monique went to go see that, and that movie is so messed up. Honestly, it's not. I'm surprised it's a kids movie. See, they like the way that the animations is, and like what the message is overall is
thought you
so weird. And so,
What's
I wanted to reference something here, but I'm kind of forgetting.
On
Yeah,
another note, I thought Jordan was just about to grab my hand and put it on his cock, but he just wanted me to feel his stomach.
What for demonetization?
Demonetization. No.
yeah?
Can you sing that one again?
Yeah, I know I stuttered, dickhead.
But like, yeah, the Isle of Dogs. and stuff. But the Isle of Dogs. Shut up.
It's okay, go on.
The Isle of Dogs, like the Fantastic Mr. Fox and the Isle of Dogs, they're the only two movies that I know that are like that. But they look so like pleasing to the eye, like it's like a claymation.
It's a very beautiful
but
They're
it
movie.
has,
both
like,
Wes
other-
Anderson
oh,
films that are
It's
claymation.
almost like it's rough to look at. Like it's almost like it's
Yeah.
ugly, but you're
But it's
also
supposed
like
to be
you're
You're
like
intrigued. You're
you're
like,
like, oh,
this
damn.
piques my interest.
like an ugly dog. Like you're like, oh damn, put your face away. But you're like, hey,
You're
come
a
here.
cute ugly dog.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'd like to bring up, because claymation, they took every piece individual, made it, and moved it, right? So what makes me kind of sad about I don't want to turn into old man here, but like this generation, quote unquote.
This damn generation with their video games and their selfies.
It's just like it's like the claymations. I feel like are slowly being replaced with like Legos, and like.
Yeah, like.
And as a kid, honestly, I would watch weirdly. I would watch on YouTube like Lego animations.
I
and all that.
miss those. Like,
And those
I
were
wanna
cool.
do
Yeah,
this
but
when
like
I
the
was a
Lego
kid.
movies coming out aren't even like real Legos. They're just
Yeah, it's a
And-
majority
No, it's real
CGI.
Legos.
There
but
is,
they
but it's
have
it's a mixture.
majority of CGI.
And-
a
like
majority. Give me the percentage, kid.
70%
Where'd you pull
And-
that one from?
from the article. right?
Anyway, so
What
like,
article?
Are you dead?
I'm taking you to court on this. What article?
Anyway, Jaden.
It just really sucks that it's being replaced, basically.
Yeah. Like, the Lego Batman movie wasn't bad. I actually quite enjoyed that.
What fucking article?
You saw the damn article bullshit.
The Lego Batman movie wasn't bad. Like,
And-
I do like how they did it, but
I
there's
love
like.
Lego Batman.
I'm not saying it's bad. Like the Lego movies are like
I
terrible.
liked Lego Batman
It's
more
just
than the
it's
Lego
the fact
movie.
that it's
Yeah.
being replaced. Because like if you're looking at a lot of claymations, I think it's mostly because of like Tim Burton's art style, I guess, or like whoever was making them at the time. But like a lot of the characters kind of like it was kind of like they were very dark tones, like of course Frankenweenie, black and white, Corpse Bride, corpses and all that. The Night Before Christmas, nightmares basically, and like they had a lot of dark tones. But that's why I liked them a lot.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't necessarily realistic, but it was like it was this dark tone, kind of like how DC is a dark tone. Like that's kind of what they do. So like that's what and then like the Legos, which is like super energetic, happy, child friendly.
Like,
Like
gotta
and
have
these-
like a lot of colors and Legos to
Yeah.
appeal to children's mind.
and I feel like it's a way to like sell toys and all that too. Like and we can get that's a whole other conversation.
Oh yeah,
another day.
that's how they sell their stuff.
StopMotionExplosion.com stated, all the Lego sets and scenery had to be 100% accurate and something to be constructed of only CGI.
Where's that percentage?
Yeah, what was that, just like-
100% of the scenery and background was CGI.
I'm dumb. Say it again.
Oh my god, we're not doing this.
No,
we're not. We're done.
stop that.
Um,
You're feeding his ignorance.
I think a lot of type of genres of movies are dying out nowadays, mainly because of like how irrelevant some like
Yeah, it's-
ideas and ideals are
I mean,
becoming.
I'm just
It's
gonna
not
say
mainly
it.
that,
I
it's-
like superhero films.
That's what I was
but
gonna say.
what
It's
everything is.
it's a lot of superhero films nowadays.
It's what big blockbuster can we merchandise and sell to you 80 million
That's what they
titles
know
the
they're
same
gonna make
way.
their money on.
Well, like the new like horror movie coming out, the Brightburner,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Brightburn, like I showed you guys, like
never seen. Like,
Oh, yeah, from
the,
James Gunn.
The Superman one.
I showed you at
Not
Denny's.
Superman. The super kid. The horror about the kid. Who's
Oh
super
yeah,
and kills
okay,
people.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like they're even taking a horror movie, which is not like necessarily have to be like superheroes or anything, but now it's a
Oh.
villain who's just like Superman, just killing
And
people.
I kind of like. Sorry, just hold on. I thought I know you like had that.
It's not that. It's just about horror movies in
Right.
general. But you continue.
Just like before we switch out to like horror movies with Christian and all that, I've noticed a lot of the movies really recently, like superheroes and like all that, like DC kind of like this dark, like edgy type thing, and like Marvel's more like it's of course like really messed up recently, but I mean like Marvel's been kind of this I don't say happy-go-lucky, but it has a lot more like easier tone, if that makes sense. And like I noticed that too with like Umbrella Academy from I'm pretty sure it's DC. That tone, like again, it's that dark tone. It kinda-
DC's really dark though in general.
yeah, but like that's what I'm saying though. A lot of like movie like superhero quote unquote superhero movies that are being released are focusing more on the villain and like seeing that different aspect and all that. Let's go ahead and Christian with the horror movies.
Oh yeah, the horror movies like the new horror movie that's coming out by the guy who did Get Out, the Us one.
I have no interest in seeing
Oh,
that.
Us?
No, yeah, I want it like. I'm not a big fan. Like I am, but I'm not. I hate watching scary movies, but I love the story of them, and I want to watch them
Yeah.
so bad. But I get so scared. But I really want to watch that one.
I'm excited for It Chapter 2 this year.
Well, that's not necessarily. That's a horror movie, but it's not at the same time. Like
What
it
do you
is,
mean
but
it's
like
not?
for some
No.
reason I don't see it as a horror movie. I don't get scared when I watch it.
There's-
That's why I don't
You got
cost it.
scared.
The only time I got scared was like the one jump scare inside the garage
So
when
you're
they're like
telling me-
flipping through
Spoiler, I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
I
Yeah,
could have sworn we saw it with.
I have
no.
not seen it. I haven't even seen the original ones fully. But like, sorry, I didn't even like to cut you guys off.
That's fine.
But like, I heard about like the It because again I haven't seen it the movie, but I haven't like it doesn't necessarily seem as scary as the original ones as like
yeah,
because like
Definitely does not go off the book. We
Yeah.
can say that.
I mean, and like I can see how some people may like be scared of it, but at the same time, it's more. I've seen like little clips of like a lot of people making fun of it recently. So like,
Yeah.
like him dancing or whatever looked really weird.
Oh.
What's
Yeah.
yeah, supposed to look weird?
I know, but that was more funny than scary because like the
Yeah,
camera like was centered on his face and it was like a still
It
motion
moves with his
camera.
head, and
Yeah.
so it makes it look like his body's moving.
And
on his
then
head.
the whole scene where it was like with the black kid when he was being bullied and he saw the clown and the clown just over there eating an arm and he just waves the arm at him. I found that really, really funny. But like
It was,
I said,
gross funny.
yeah, the
Yeah.
only time I actually got scared was in like a garage scene where there was a jump scare. Like you weren't expecting the clown and then just, bam, he was there and it just kind of scared me.
I mean, if you watch the trailer, you were expecting it.
I didn't watch a lot of the trailers.
I'm not good with horror movies at all. I can't handle them. Like no
It
matter
depends.
no matter the range, it could be like a stupid scary or like a serious scary. I just can't do them because I just don't like suspense. It's like sitting there waiting, like oh my god, I know he's around the corner, but like I'm just not ready for him to stab me. So
Yeah.
like I could be like I could tell myself like Jordan, it's gonna pop out, and I'm like yeah, and then it
pops out,
happens,
you're
and I
like,
still scream like a bitch.
See, like me. Okay, so me and my sister, right? She absolutely loved horror movies like growing up, and me, I hated it because I was like, I'm 2 years younger than my sister, and so when she was like watching movies like Saw, and Saw, I cannot handle it at all. Like it was like the guy's arm like twisting, you could see it was.
Oh yeah.
It was
I hate
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah, and I can't watch that. But it's ironic because as much as like my sister loves scary stuff, it's funny because she's like scared of The Grudge.
The Grudge?
The Grudge.
What's the Grudge?
That's the
It's
the
Japanese.
girl one. The one where she comes out of the TV.
That's the Ring.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
the
the ring. The Grudge is, I don't know what the Grudge
That's
is.
Grudge.
It's a little girl.
Why is your chair making so much noise?
She's a girl who crawls around everywhere.
He's in a very leathery old chair that hasn't been oiled in a very
You guys
long
don't
time.
like horror movies, but you guys play a lot of horror games.
No.
don't you?
No,
Did
dude,
you
we can't.
stop?
Me and Jaden can't even play. Emily wants to play.
Wow.
We
That's
all.
just difficult. That's not even scary. It's
Speaking
just
of
difficult.
games, what games are you guys excited for?
Wow. I heard the
There's not a
music.
lot
I
of
like
good
how the
games.
music stopped too.
I feel like we should talk about that at a different time. But to answer your question right now, basically, what game I'm excited for? Because like I bought a lot of the major games, but the one that I'm really excited for that's like releasing soon would be Days Gone. Because it's a zombie game. I love zombies.
What's Days Gone?
Days Gone is kind of like The Last of Us, but like a
oh.
little like it's its own take on zombies basically.
That's what I'm excited
Yeah,
for.
I don't want to say like it's the same.
The one I'm super excited for, I don't know, like we all know what it is.
Halo.
Shadows Die Twice.
Oh,
It comes out in
I guess
like
we
a
didn't.
week, and I'm just like, oh, I need to
Minecraft
play it.
2 Dungeons.
oh, Hytale. Yeah, Hytale.
Hightail.
Okay, so we might sound
That's the
childish.
Grudge,
Yes,
by the
we're full grown adults, but we will play the shit out of Minecraft too. We will.
Oh, because you showed, you know, like the scary movie. What scary movie was a little Asian boy,
Dude, oh,
and he wasn't
yeah.
even like, was he
The
even
little
like speaking?
powdery boy.
Yeah, he wasn't even
And she
speaking
hits him with
Japanese.
their card.
Yeah, he like falls down the stairs and shit.
Oh, that wasn't
Um,
scary.
like
That was
Scary
movie, yeah.
Scary movie.
So,
like 5 or 4.
When I
that was
watched that,
so
I
funny.
think it was 4. When I watched it in the theaters, right? And it was supposed to be a comedy, right? So I went with my grandma and my sister, and
Wait, that was the one with
when-
Ashley Tisdale, and she was pretty much just fucking a
Yes.
microwave.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
think so.
god, that was
And
so
so
funny.
in the movie theater, dude,
Yeah, it's weird.
It goes to the part where the little kid jumps out of the bathtub. I cried and ran out of the movie theater, dude.
Why?
The fucker popped out of nowhere. It's gonna show.
Oh my god, one time, okay, so when me and Christian were little, and we were just first starting to go to movies by ourselves,
Oh.
like by ourselves, so yeah, we were like just starting to go by ourselves, and so our parents went to see this movie called The Gray, which is about a bunch
Oh,
of
the-
people that, what was that?
That was him.
Oh,
I got some
that was
stuff in my-
you.
That was Jordan.
That was him.
Jaden.
I don't, it was Jaden?
Uh,
Oh, well, anyways.
Yeah.
I just thought I heard it from
It's
over there.
it's about a bunch of people that go down
They go
in
down
like the
in a
middle
pool.
of the mountains, and these
Liam
huge wolves are
Neeson.
trying to like hunt them down.
Oh.
But we didn't go to see that. We went to go see the
Beauty and the Beast.
re-release of Beauty and the Beast in theaters because we were like, fuck that. But anyway, our movie finished like
early.
a good 40 minutes before theirs
Not
did.
40.
So, yeah, 40.
Really?
We saw half that movie. So
I
we-
remember
we
the
had
one
to-
dude who's just like, I'm done, I can't keep running, and then he just leaves to get eaten by the wolves, and you can just hear it in the background, the dude yelling. I'm just like, what kind of movie is this?
we had to like walk into their theater and sit with them because we were like, oh, we don't want to get. We were still like kind of small, so we're like, we don't want to get in trouble by sitting out here. So we walk in their movie and sit down with them. And I've never been more terrified having to watch something before. Oh my god, it was so.
Me and my uncle, we were on his Apple TV, and we were just looking up at like terrible horror movie trailers. There's one called like The Honeymoon, and the chick started acting like a frog. It was really weird, but then she started like wanting to eat the husband, and I was like, yo, this is getting like really weird, really fast. And like there's like the elevator, where like every time the elevator stops, someone dies, and like the last person meets the devil and all that. It was
What?
That
Yeah.
actually kind of like that sounds interesting. Not as in a horror movie aspect, but as in like a movie, like a short film aspect. That like
yeah, but like I mean, short films aren't usually an hour and 20 minutes.
I know that, but I mean like
It's a short film.
like a person goes
surprisingly.
into the elevator, he goes like he hits like a number that goes up, but then the elevator just starts to go down, and then he ends up in hell, and
Yeah,
he
I
kind of
mean-
just has a conversation with the devil. I feel like that'd be interesting.
I want to talk about this at different times, like ghost stories and all that. But I want to bring up like so.
We'll talk about that on the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do
But
ghost stories.
We
on
can
the next one.
segue into that. Do we want to? Do we want to tease that for the next one? How long have we been going?
Only 21 minutes. We can go for another 10, 15.
We'll
So you
go
wanna
for
do-
another 10. We'll make this a 30.
do you want to do ghost stories or?
No, we'll save
No,
that.
we'll keep it on.
About 3 minutes before we wrap up, we'll bring that back up and we'll
Okay.
tease that for.
Yo,
the
this
next one.
table,
It's wobbly.
it's getting rowdy in my chair.
Got some wobbly
You want to
knees.
sit the fuck down. You want to sit still.
Because like I lean back and like y'all are talking, and then I'm like,
This oddly like connects with the movies like theme that we're going on. Movie chairs, like uncomfortable ones.
Uh-huh.
Piss me off.
they
I
shouldn't
feel
exist.
I feel like I have Tourette's or something. I'm like moving around the chair. I'm like,
Well, it's the fact that like
we were
now that they're
talking-
implementing leather recliners in a lot of the theaters,
But
when
the-
you go like when you nowadays when you find one that doesn't have a leather recliner, you're just like, what is this shit? This isn't luxury.
I mean, we were talking about going to see Endgame, me and you were like specifically were like, we're not going to the one down the street.
If the movie is going to be 3 hours long, I'm not sitting in Galaxy Theater. Because what movie did we see where I had the arm seat that was squeaky, and I just sat there and I was wiggling it for like a hot minute. I was like, and I was like, But it just, cause like movies are supposed to be quiet, right? But if my seat is like, you know what I mean? Like if it's gonna make the noise, like
You're gonna make the noise.
like I'm gonna make it make the noise only because like it's like it's at that point where it's like, well, apparently you can't shut up and I'm gonna move because I get uncomfortable 2 hours into a movie. So
I'm gonna move because nowadays all people my age have the attention span of a goldfish.
Did you hear that?
What?
Nobody's having a heart attack after that.
the little
What?
girl noise, there's the song.
No,
What?
BS.
I swear.
I thought that was you making that noise. Let's get
What was the
ghost stories
noise?
is happening right now.
Okay, no, we were okay. So
Stop the recording.
So, nobody knows the recording. Oh, nobody
We're
will
done.
know this. But okay, so far, basically, how we're recording this is one microphone, a audio splitter, so that everybody has
Yeah,
a
brag about
headset,
your-
so we can all hear, and then it goes into the
Rate
laptop.
my setup.
It goes into the laptop. But the thing is, with the laptop, we have music playing through the laptop. You guys can't hear it, but
Lo-fi.
it will be in the edited version of this. And when I say edited, it means that the
But they
version
can't
you're
hear
listening.
this.
They can't hear the music we're listening to right now. But the thing is,
Inception.
we're listening to something called, you guys might know it,
Lo-fi.
Chilled Cow, lo-fi hip hop and stuff.
I'm pretty
But
sure
the
it
thing
was
is,
that.
we're listening to it, and
Okay.
I understand that a lot of these songs have like noises in it. There's a little girl noise, but it scared the shit out of me and Jane just right now because like we were the only ones
What was
that
the little-
recognized
what was
it.
the noise?
Okay,
It
so
was like,
yeah, so like Jordan was talking all that, and I noticed with you for some reason when you're watching something, you make random noises.
Like,
Like
No.
like,
Yeah,
like the mic comes.
yeah, your mic cover.
Hmm.
Yeah, you hum a lot. You just like.
Make random noises.
these guys, like, I'm like an old man. I sit there and I just, I don't know. It's like a tick.
He's watching One Piece. Oh.
No, it's more when I'm
Just
watching
so
One Piece.
tiny.
It's more like.
Okay, we didn't need to know that.
So basically, you know,
Hold on.
while that was going on,
Hold on, what?
Just to kind of take the topic back. We were
Please
talking about
do.
movies, right? And then we just brought up One Piece. How do you feel about anime adaptations?
It has to be
I
done
was
right.
gonna bring that up.
There's been
There's no
No
movie
good.
No,
that
no,
is.
no, okay, Death Note, I'm gonna be honest. If you
Don't say
haven't
it's
seen the
good.
anime,
Please don't say
if you
it's
haven't
good.
seen the anime, it's
It's
not
funny.
It's bad.
It's
It's, not
enjoyable.
bad. It's enjoyable.
It's so bad. It's
Dragon
enjoyable.
Ball
I'm not saying
Evolutions,
it's good, but it's
Hot
so bad.
garbage.
It's-
Hot
But,
garbage.
Jordan, they're straight up making a live action or Netflix show of One Piece?
I saw.
Avatar.
I'm so yeah. Oh yeah, they're making
Garbage.
an Avatar.
But no,
What
they're
do you mean
doing
show
One
as well?
Piece and Avatar Netflix adaptation. Is One Piece Netflix too?
Yeah.
And then they're also doing
Well, that's what
a
I've
My
heard.
Hero movie live action, or is that a TV show?
I think anime just become so big recently that Hollywood's like, we're gonna get in on this weeb
I
shit.
think it's gonna backfire.
I don't know. Maybe.
You just can't. You don't have.
Name a good adaptation.
There is a
Okay, no,
You
go on,
don't-
what you're saying.
We don't have like
Alita
any.
Battle Angel.
We don't have like any, like technology to this day, in my opinion, to like make an anime
I
to like
just think-
truly
It looks
look.
so forced.
See, no,
I,
I think
just
it,
think anime are like a weekly thing that it's like it's set up for you to go along these adventures for years at a time, week by week, and it's not good for like a 90-minute movie.
It's not that.
you watch once.
I feel like if they took the premise, say like My Hero Academia, if they took the premise of a world like with like what's like 90% of people having
80%,
powers,
something like
80%,
that.
and there's like the 1% is like he's the 1%, but he gets his powers. That's a good movie plot. But if you try to do it in the anime aspect of having like everything to
Yeah.
pay homage to the anime, it gets overrun. Like Alita Battle Angel. The only reason why I think that movie didn't get the respect it needed
I think
because
I
of
have a
her
lot
eyes.
respect,
No,
though.
it did, but it was because of her eyes.
Her eyes were
So many people were making fun of it just because of her eyes, and they were trying to pay the homage to those big anime eyes. But if they didn't do that,
It would
They
have
should
been.
have paid homage to those big anime dudes.
I'm gonna smack you because I actually like that movie. Alita Battle Angel.
No
I haven't
wonder
seen
why
the
you like
anime.
it.
Shut up! It was. I like them big eyes.
I think a good way to do it is like, let's take like the last Airbender movie. I think the movie was done wrong, but the premise and plot of taking one
Yeah.
solid arc in the show, they took the whole water book
Yeah.
like and all that, was a smart idea. They didn't have their plate full. They were able to take the main fights and main
Yeah.
aspects of the overall
that's why I
arc.
think the Netflix adaptation will do better because it'll be a show, so they don't have to focus on one arc. Like
Yeah.
One Piece. Imagine making a One Piece live action movie. You couldn't.
But this is
I'm
the
gonna be
thing.
honest. You can't pick one arc from that thing and just make a movie about
This is
it.
why I'm disappointed in making live action One Piece. I fucking love One Piece. It's my favorite. I don't want to have to watch another One Piece show every week and wait for it in live action form just to see all the stuff I have already seen in a lesser form. It's just like it doesn't make sense to me that like why would you make it probably won't even apply to me because if it does get made it'll probably be like the Full Metal Alchemist movie where it was all Japanese actors and
I
like
haven't seen that
it
one
won't
yet.
be that big. It's horrible. Don't.
See,
But anyway,
It's so bad.
It's so bad. But anyway, yeah, I just don't get it. Like, if you really want to watch One Piece, just watch One Piece and you'll get the full experience. You're not getting
Yeah.
some half baked, like, well, we're going to take what One Piece is and, like, try to show you in live action what it could be.
okay. Well, do you want to talk about?
What time?
Well, I'm kind of gonna segue out of this a
Wait,
little
then
bit.
hold down.
Yeah, so go ahead.
In my personal opinion, I don't even think like anime movies are that good. Like some are.
Some art.
But,
Two
like-
Heroes, good. Broly,
You haven't seen
I don't-
Heroes though.
Broly,
I know it's
Broly,
good, but the like,
I
I don't
know
want.
it's good.
Broly,
from what
I
I've heard.
know.
Broly wasn't bad. Broly was just a one
It
like
was
an
just
hour long
yeah.
fight.
That's all it
scene.
was.
That's why
it
it was
wasn't
amazing.
bad, but I didn't like the fact that it was a 1 hour.
We're not
fight
dissing
scene.
it.
Broly,
but it
it
made
was
sense.
okay.
It made
was not
sense. You
okay.
can't make a movie about.
It
you
was
can't make a. I know.
amazing.
I'm saying it made sense. You can't make a movie about Dragon Ball because it's a TV show. You have to set stuff up. You can't really set stuff up with a movie.
Well, if you've watched Dragon Ball, it's
That's
not really
true.
about setting stuff up.
And,
I know that,
Dragon
but I
Ball,
mean,
it's
like,
like
still.
a new villain
And
shows
mostly
himself,
people
and
that are
now
gonna
it's
go
time to
see
fight.
this.
And that's what Broly was.
Just to really end there, yeah. I really don't think anime movies are to go because anime does take time to
I
set
think they're
things
getting.
up.
I think they're getting better, but yeah, I do think.
Well,
that
like
they're
the
not
one,
best.
the My Hero movie was good.
I think
The
when they're
Broly-
mainstream, like Fathom Events ones, they're good. But like Naruto,
Bro,
The
I don't think he had one good movie. It
And
was
it was
it
the
was
last one.
Shippuden. No. It was
the blood.
it was the one where
Blood
they
Prison?
went
In your
they went and fought the guys in the Ice Nation. I don't remember what it's called.
I don't know. I just know the last one.
Rock Lee, he had a fight scene where he took a guy like on top of the stairs and like he said boom boom. It was amazing. But like anime movies don't have enough time to really set things
Yeah,
up.
they don't have.
And, like they don't really need to set things up in general. They kind of just like they can do what they want because like you already know the characters if you're watching the anime. But I mean, I don't think anime movies, whether it be an adaptation or anime in general, are really strong in their own suits. I think animes are
They do. They're good at what they do and should stay like that.
like Studio Ghibli films. I don't think they could ever make a TV show, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, because like that's just. It's a kind of like a one-off thing. It's like
They're very good at making something that's 90 minutes long. And
Yeah.
Compared to me.
Very good at it.
My favorite one I think is the Secret Life of Arietti. That one's amazing.
I
I've
love
heard
that
of it.
one, yeah.
Ponyo was good.
Ponyo
but
was-
Secret Life of
Ponyo.
Arietti. But you guys haven't seen The Secret Life of Eddie,
I
have
mean,
you?
Liam
No.
I think I
Neeson
saw
is in
like
it.
half of
I
it.
have.
It has people from Disney Channel in it.
Like,
That doesn't make it good.
I know it doesn't make it good, but it's like when I
Yes,
was a
it does.
kid, Carson. When I was little, when I saw it, I was like, I know these people from Disney Channel, so that's what made me like it more.
That's like telling a crack addict, like, yo, try this salad. It has crack in it. It doesn't make the salad good, but
My
it's
name
more
is
appealing.
Jake Johnny, and this is
It had a
Studio
good story.
Ghibli.
Have you ever The Borrowers? Have you ever read The Borrowers? I know you have. It's about like little people inside.
When did I read the
I could have swore
Borrowers?
you had to read The Borrowers for like a class one time.
I read The Indian in the Cupboard.
No.
That's the closest I've ever
Someone
gotten.
read The Borrowers. Anyways, it's about little people living in our house, and they just come out and like they take stuff and they like
Wasn't that what the
replace it. and
Secret World of Arrietty was?
That's exactly what it was, and that's what I liked about it so much. Like the little boy found Arrietty,
Was
and they
the-
had a relationship, but they weren't supposed to.
Hey, I want to do something real quick. I think we should like get out of anime real quick.
That's
But-
what we're
Yeah,
doing.
I
That's
wanna-
what-
yeah, let's
But
do it.
before we get out of anime, I want, since Jordan, like we just said, he's been getting into One Piece a little bit, and he's about 25 episodes.
What's your
in.
hot take?
I
on
want
it?
his 1
Come
minute
back.
review of
Get
how
closer to the
he's
mic.
thinking it's been going so far, and we'll
Come
do this
back,
every
boy.
week. Every time we watch new
And
episodes,
Jordan's take.
we'll
Jordan's
get
hot
how,
take.
We'll get how he's
Jordan's
his
hot
hot
take.
take.
Zoro got bitched by Hawkeye Mio.
So, the anime is good. The Usopp arc, however you say his name, is boring. It was good. It had story development. It had like an okay villain. You know, everything was decent, but I mean, at the same time, it was just like ugh, like nothing really crazy.
It was just boring.
Yeah. We just watched the episodes where what's his name? Cap. Who's not the guy who fucked up Zoro, but the guy. Whose ship was it?
Don Krieg.
Don Krieg. He came in. He's gonna finesse the kitchen staff and all that. But everyone was like, what's his name? Saijin.
Sanji.
I'm sorry, the names are like escaping me. Saiji. What's his name?
Sanji.
Sanji was like, I'm gonna kill all of them. And then Zoro went and fought
Hawkeye. Mio.
Hawkeye, and you know, I had high expectations for the fight. Oh, Naminé, dude, I don't want to talk about.
Nami.
Naminé.
Oh, Naminé's from Kingdom Hearts. Naminé. No, but Nami, he ran away with the ship, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it. I don't know, but like
It's been out since 1999.
If you haven't seen it now,
it
you're probably
hurts
a
my
child
head
and you shouldn't be
to
listening
know
to
that
this
someone
podcast.
has that much greed to take Luffy's ship and then be like, if we're meant to meet, like, no, ho. I
Okay,
hope.
I would be honest. I've seen it. It's good. It's good. It's good.
It's going
Very
right.
bueno. It's gonna wrap up.
So,
it's gonna wrap up.
Overall,
I don't
on
like-
a scale of
I don't like One Piece, not because it's a bad show. It just doesn't pique my interest. But that does. I understand why people like it, and that like arc. It's gonna be the Arlong Park arc.
yeah,
That arc is.
it's phenomenal.
I understand why people say you got to get to that, and if you don't like it at that point, don't watch it.
It's top 3. If you're like okay with One Piece, maybe keep going. But if it doesn't, if Arlong Park doesn't make it for you at that point, it's gonna be a while before something comes along that might. Because so yeah, that arc. Like literally, I'm 500 episodes deep, and it's still top 3 arcs for me.
Okay, and that's Jordan's hot take.
Oh wait,
On
anyway,
a scale 1 to 10,
yeah.
right now, I'm giving it a solid 7. It's a solid
That's
7.
That's
Yeah,
higher than
that-
I thought. I
that-
thought you were gonna say 6.
I thought you were gonna say 7
That's
Alright.
because it's not quite an 8,
Okay,
but
let's move on.
it's a 7.
So, are we
Backtracking.
wrapping up the episode right now?
No, keep going.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, how long have we been
Stop
doing?
We're
doing
at
that.
34.
Yeah, we can probably wrap it up. right now.
I'm gonna tell you when we wrap it up. Just keep going.
Okay.
We're
So,
going pretty strong.
basically, back to the kind
Stop
of the
doing that.
adaptations, and it's a lot about anime. It's about book adaptations and all that.
Ugh, the
Yeah,
Giver.
so I was actually interested
James
in
is
the
good.
Hold on a minute, okay, everyone's gonna hyped over this, right? So I know you guys don't necessarily know this probably, or you don't care about it, but they're they are 100 Years of Solitude. It's a very famous book. It's written by like a Cuban, I believe, a Cuban person, and so it was written in Spanish, but then translated over to English so people can read it. And the writer died a couple years ago, I think, actually maybe this year, last year. And so he basically said, I don't want this to be a movie or whatever.
But they're making it a movie.
But they're making it a movie on Netflix, and then people like his family give him the rights to do that. But the thing is, with his like requirements, quote unquote, is like, I think he said like unless it's like in Spanish, they're not gonna like his main argument was like, if it's not like if it's not in Spanish, no one will get the story. So it's
That's true. There's a cultural barrier.
Yeah, there's like a lot of stories that like if it's not in their native, not like in their native tongue, or it's not told the way that it was like originally written, then you lose all purpose. Even if it's like slight word changes, maybe a little tinkering, like the overall meaning. Because what we experience in America,
everything's different.
It's
for
totally
different
different what you
people.
experience in Cuba, what you experience in Argentina, like stuff like that. So I mean, you take it, not only taking it out of the cultural aspect, you're all now taking it and you're shifting it to fit a culture that doesn't understand the boundaries. And overall, like book adaptations, in my opinion, I think some of them are strong. Like, I'm probably gonna get like roasted for this, but like the Harry Potter movies, you could suck my nut. Those are amazing movies.
I love
Okay, I thought you were gonna say they're bad. I was like, okay, you about to get some heat.
I don't think anyone's ever said those movies are bad.
I have. My mom did, because she read the books, and my mom was like,
so yeah, I can
'cause the
understand
books
why
are
people
always
are like,
better.
oh, the books are so bad. Yeah, I can understand
They have
that.
to leave a lot out because
Yeah, I know. That's
J.K.
the thing.
Rowling, that bitch, she went in depth.
No,
man.
but J.K. Rowling, we can't. She's nuts.
So that's
She will literally give you information about something that you
Did
don't
you know
want.
wizards shit their pants and how they got plumbing?
Have you
That's
like
something she said.
Yeah, like no. One of the jokes is no, literally nobody. J.K. Rowling. Yeah, Hermione totally played Dobby's
Dumbledore's
dick.
gay.
That was just a joke. But yeah, Dumbledore's gay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Nobody needed that.
So basically, so this
well,
kind
he's
of
not necessarily gay. He was attracted to intelligence. That's what she. Well, she said he's gay, but like
I thought
that's what everybody's saying.
So then, like when people like
And
when
men are more intelligent than women. We all know it.
when Miss Trill explained that to me about how like whatever, like everyone like what Dumbledore's gay. But yeah. So
I mean, the dude was wearing flamboyant robes.
so. With like,
don't you ever call a robe flamboyant. We have fucking Gandalf, Dumbledore.
Gandalf wore gray. You see Dumbledore? He rocking that velvet suede.
It was white.
No,
it was white.
Yeah, it was. When
white.
Draco
towards
Malfoy,
the end, but no, in the beginning, he was wearing that pink and purple.
and that,
Do you
and
remember that?
And you looked at him and you were like, "Damn."
He's stunned. He
Okay,
was a stunt
okay,
man.
enough gay shit. Alright. So
What happened to the one-piece suits? When did he go from to a three-piece suit to a pink robe? I want to know that. What was his thought
When
process?
you're 130 years old, Christian, and you have to dress yourself in the morning because your best friend which died,
Slip on.
you learn to just deal with what you have.
okay, to kind of wrap up my point. To kind of wrap up my point, I'm sorry, but like, so basically, this is like the role of like the movies that are based off of books. They almost have to, like for Harry Potter, for example, like the author has to be actively involved with it, so it goes the way that it needs to go. And there's there's certain terms and whatever for like when like the artist basically gives the rights to the people, and like they can like work with it, show them the whatever, and see if they like it or not, and they could be like no, yes. And so this leads to the question of how active do you guys think a director or like an author needs to be in a movie, and how much directions should they be able to give? That makes sense. So
I
go ahead,
think they
question.
should be able to just leave out whatever they need to make a good movie. I think making a great movie should be their first focus. If leaving stuff out or putting stuff in, if they have to do that, then just do it to make a good movie. Because it's not the book.
Christian, what do you think about it? Any comments on that?
Oh, well, there's that boundary, like we've said, but because like there's the people that read the book, and like there's people that like reading books, and that like they get a lot of information, and if they see that like they know how it's pictured, they know what they want when they want a movie. Like the Maze Runner, not a lot of people liked it just because it wasn't what they envisioned in the movie. And like Hunger Games, a lot of stuff that like Jennifer Lawrence, Katniss Everdeen does not look like that in the book. But they have to take liberty and do that. For the people that read the book, they have this envision in their mind. They know what this person looks like, and then when they see it on screen, they get disappointed.
Yeah, like the Maze Runner series, for example.
No, like I
I
said,
read
yeah.
a bunch of the books, and like the movies were okay. I like
The movie itself wasn't bad, but like when you compare it to the book, it's just it didn't
It didn't fulfill what you wanted it to fulfill.
And I remember showing you guys. I don't think you've seen it yet.
It's like having a really good pie, and then they serve you another pie just like it, but it's not as good, and you don't feel satisfied.
This, like, I showed you guys this video of, like, the cosmic horror, like, stuff. So basically, long story short, it's about how artists, or like the director itself, or like the author, they have a certain way they describe something, and they see it through their mind, like Christian's saying. but it becomes a problem when the effects that they're using isn't up to date.
Yeah.
So like the thing, for example, was like, oh, they're like the way they did it was they never showed the true like entity like in its like true form, but rather like trying to mimicking other people saying. Or another one would be like the mist. The mist was kind of like, I don't want to say it's like horrible, but it was bad like animation, CGI, whatever. So it's like between the sacrifice between telling the correct story or simply giving that, you know, the visual effects and all that. That makes sense.
I think a key thing too is like I feel like sometimes you have to sacrifice visual just
Yeah.
to get the story across, because like
I
you
didn't show
read
that video.
What?
Go on, sorry.
you read a book for the story, not the visual. You see it in your head and all that. Like, let's take like 50 Shades of Grey for example.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed the movie a lot more because I didn't see things inside my head that I was like when I
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
have to
read the book.
envision it with the book. Like, yeah, you like.
I
sometimes
was
letting
seeing
your
penises for a straight month reading one chapter. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
when
god.
when you read it.
And that's going to conclude the podcast, boys.
We'll see
Please
you
make
boys.
sure to follow our Twitter at Podcast Baby, our YouTube Podcast Baby, our SoundCloud Podcast Baby, and you guessed it, Podcast Baby.